Okay, as you can see, we have Necromancer, Chain, Kotal, and Double Chimera Fusion. So the point of this deck is to get to Gazelle as soon as possible. Kotal is gonna do that, of course. Kotal is fantastic because it can discard itself to add any card that mentions Chimera Fusion. Okay, so we are summoning the Mirror Sword Knight. Okay, Sword Knight will tribute itself to summon the Gazelle, and Gazelle will be adding the Baphomet because we have double Chimera Fusion. But if we didn't have the Chimera Fusion, you would always add the Fusion because this card is fantastic. It's double polymerization because you use it once, then if you have a Baphomet or Chimera monster on the field, you can add it from your graveyard, so that is fantastic either for another fusion summon or just even as a discard for Nightmare Apprentice, for example. And yeah, Nightmare Apprentice will now grab another illusion, Chain will add Patchwork, so that's another polymerization, and the Fiend monster. Okay, we're adding Kotal as well. So as you can see, we're not really losing any cards, we're just plussing and plussing. And yeah, we are adding Chain and Polymerization. We have 2 polys plus another Chimera Fusion in the graveyard, but we don't need it at the moment. We are summoning the Baphomet. Baphomet will dump Archfiend, I think, in this case, or Stygian. Yeah, they are dumping Archfiend. Now, since we use both our fusions, we'll go into Moon of the Closed Heaven, then go into Requiem, then Requiem into Engraver. I know that Lacrima, the main deck Lacrima, and Agnamde will be released in 2 days maybe. So this will just be a showcase that you don't really need Lacrima. In this case, you just need it for the Aerial Eater to send a Fiend monster from your deck. In this case, we'll be sending Stygian. Of course, Stygian will banish itself. Do a special summon Necromancer. Yep, Necromancer will revive Archfiend. And then you can just see that you will have 2 dumps, so from Baphomet and from Aerial Eater. So at the bare minimum, you'll be having access to Archfiend and a way to special summon Archfiend from Stygian's Tree Patrol. And then when you get to Archfiend, you just get to, you add the first Necromancer, then you go to Proxy of Magician to summon the Duke of Demise in order to summon multiple Necromancers, because one Necromancer will be special summoned from Proxy of Magician, and the second will be normal summon by Duke of Demise, as you can see in this case. It will be put in defense mode. Now we can use all 4 for Appaloosa, of course. Crazy that this card is still legal in Master Duel, but I guess it's fine, I don't know. I'll abuse it until it gets banned, I guess, sure. We are adding our first launcher. Yep, using it. Now linking off into Moon of the Closed Heaven. It's a free link 2 basically, because we used it once and now it's again. Launcher is reviving double Necromancer. And as you can see, you need at least 2 Necromancers for the combo. And you'll get it through Proxy of Magician, Duke of Demise, and Archfiend. And it's super easy to set up the Appaloosa. In this case, we want to clear up some space, so we use all 4 monsters for Zelantis. Then Necromancer will revive Archfiend once again. So as you can see, you don't really use all 3 launchers because you have so many monsters on the board. So reviving Archfiend and Necromancers 6 times through 3 launchers too much. I feel like Appaloosa backed by Zelantis and Nightmare Phoenix and Cerberus, as you will see it, will be absolutely more than enough. Archfiend is grabbing another barrier, then we'll go into Cerberus, and now as you can see we have Appaloosa, Zelantis, Phoenix and Cerberus with Archfiend and Necromancer in attack position, protected by barrier, double barrier and break. So this is like a test hand we showed the last video. And of course we hand loop our opponent for 1. Okay, we hand loop the Cyber Repair Plant. This is a good Rota card. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know how our opponent is beating this. Okay, they are trying, I guess. But the Appaloosa will all, of course, say no. Negate Galaxy Soldier. Negate the Hertz, of course. Yeah, Appaloosa is absurd. I mean, how is this card okay? I don't understand. Anyway, of course you bury the Trust, because Trust will add them any other spell card in the game. And yeah, opponent surrenders because they have seen that they cannot break this board, so let's go on to the second duel. And as you can see over here, we have drawn Baphomet plus Engraver plus Barrier. Those are 3 cards that we don't want to draw, but Mirror Sword Knight is enough. It's a 1-card combo to Gazelle, to Chimera Fusion, and Chimera Fusion will unlock the whole hand, but first we're using Polymerization. Okay, using Gazelle and Baphomet to summon the Chimera, then Chainlink 1, Chainlink 3, Baphomet and Gazelle, Chain Block with the Chimera. So yeah, as you can see, this is the important part, because the first fusion monster that you want to summon is the Chimera, because it requires specifically a Beast and a Fiend monster, while Baphomet requires either Beast or Illusion or a Fiend monster, so it requires any 2 of 3 of these types, while Chimera really requires Gazelle plus a Fiend, so the best option is always to go for Chimera first, then Baphomet, and of course Baphomet will always send Ares, and as you can see we dumped Engraver and Baphomet, so we have our free hand, we have emptied our hand, we sent Ares to add Infernity Archfiend. Now we'll link into Moon of the Closed Heaven, of course, then we'll do the Fiendsmith stuff, but we actually drew the Engraver, so in this case we'll just shuffle back the Moon and special summon it. Yep, use Chimera Fusion to actually go for Aerial Ether this way, so you don't really have to go for sequence all the time. In case you draw Engraver, you can just special summon Requiem, Engraver to shuffle back the Moon, and then use Chimera Fusion to summon the Aerial Ether. So that's one of the ways to get to Aerial Ether. You can also get it with the Proxy of Magician. Proxy of Magician is a fantastic addition because it can either summon you the Baphomet or the regular Chimera, or Duke or the Aerial Ether, so it has 4 options, 4 very strong options in the given moment. In this case, because we use all 3 of our fusions, we'll go into Duke of Demise. Okay, of course I'm a Necromancer, and as you can see we are just going through our combo. Archfiend will add another Necromancer, Duke of Demise will give it another normal summon. So it's super consistent, very strong. It does really require a lot of engine in the deck, so as you can see we don't really have a lot of space in terms of non-engine, but I mean we can play this deck even as 50 cards, maybe add Droplets or I don't know, Call by the Graves or some similar cards like that. Yep, of course, Moon of the Closed Heaven. Launcher again, this is I think our first launcher, yeah. And we already got to Appaloosa with 4 monster negates, Moon of the Closed Heaven, Necromancer, double Necromancer to revive Archfiend. So as you can see we don't really even need triple launcher, but it's really good to have in the, you know, as going second, so you can actually play through opponent's stuff. And in this case we are summoning the sequence, so we can actually shuffle back Moon of the Closed Heaven and Gazelle into the deck to summon Baphomet. Yep. They will be used for Zelantis, of course, and Necromancer to revive Archfiend. Of course, we already drew the barrier, so we are just missing Break and Barrier. We're adding, what's that, the 3rd launcher, but I don't think we'll even use the 3rd launcher here. We will just need 1 more. So yeah, and also we have a lot of flex spots, as you can see. We have a Spelul Knight, we have Underworld Goddess. This is a very optional card. It can surprise your opponent because they never expect when you summon Moon of the Closed Heaven, target any of their opponent's monsters, and then you link off 2 of their monsters. They don't really expect that, but you can cut it for maybe some better options, like, I don't know, maybe another Gazelle, or no, maybe another, what's the name, Baphomet, or another Aerial Ether, or maybe Masquerena. Also we can rip the Emergency Teleport, which is broken. Probably playing punk cards. Yep. Ooh, that's pretty. Ogre Dance Royal, right? That's good. Of course we're gonna negate it with Appaloosa, Triple Tactics Talent, negated by Barrier, of course. So when you get to this point, when you make this board, it's impossible for the opponent to beat it, and yeah, as you can see we won another game. The point of the deck is that you summon the 2 Chimera fusions, because they'll allow you to actually loop each other, because the Chimera can banish itself to special summon any fiend, beast, or illusion monster from your graveyard, while the Baphomet can banish itself to actually bring back that same Chimera that you just banished. So you actually want to loop these two cards as much as possible. I ran 3 Baphomet, I think, 2 years ago in one build, because Baphomet is so good. It's actually a flexible card because you will always have illusion monsters and fiend monsters as well, because Infernities are all fiend monsters, while you have cards like Gazelle and Mirror Sword Knight and Nightmare Apprentice that are illusion monsters. So yeah, that's the main part of the deck, and also you want to get to Infernity part as soon as possible. And as you can see in this duel, we're going second, so I'll showcase the quote-unquote problem with this deck when you actually draw multiple Infernity Archfiends or Engraver. So as you can see, we don't really have 5 cards playable in our hand. We have like 3 at max with Poly, Gazelle, and Infernity Archfiend. You don't really need double Archfiend and Engraver as well. Engraver is, I mean, it's okay to draw, but because we can actually get it from the Requiem, but it's so much better that Engraver stayed in the deck. But I mean, it's also fine because it's a fiend monster that we can actually use for a fusion summon. And as you can see, our opponent is comboing off. They already have 5 spell and traps occupied. They have double Blue Eyes White Dragon, Sage, and the Maiden. This will be very hard to beat, but yeah, double Spirit is really unfair, by the way. Also, the Crimson Dragon, the level 12, and the level 12 Blue Eyes Synchro is broken because it can negate, it can, when it gets destroyed, it can revive the Blue Eye Spirit, which is another form of interruption. And yeah, we actually drew our 3rd Archfiend, which is unfortunate, as you can see. So the problem with this deck, the main problem, is that you can get these type of hands, but you just have to play triple Archfiend because you actually want to draw 1 Archfiend. You'll never draw triple Archfiend like I did. I was super unlucky with drawing, by the way. And in this case, as you can see, we cannot really dodge Impermanence because we didn't get to Chimera Fusion. Chimera Fusion is the best fusion spell in this deck because it is a fusion spell and it also is a quick play, meaning that we can actually dodge interruptions like Impermanence, Veiler, and if we actually drew it instead of Archfiend and Engraver, we would actually have a decent chance at beating this board, but in this case we just scoop and we are gonna go to the next game. Okay, so this is a very good hand because we opened Gazelle, but Ares is kind of iffy because it's a brick, but not really, because we can actually get it off our hand via Chimera Fusion, which we'll actually do it now. Sending Gazelle and Ares, summoning the Chimera, of course, and Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Gazelle and Ares, Chainlink 3, Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast. So the best card here actually is either Chimera Fusion or a way, or cards that can actually get to it, because you actually want to get to Chimera and the Baphomet. Baphomet will get you to the Infernity part of the deck, while the Chimera will banish itself to give you a grind game. So if your board gets destroyed by and have no monsters on the field, you can just banish the Chimera, special summon Archfiend, and then Archfiend can add Launcher or Necromancer, whatever you have left in your deck. And Baphomet, besides being a fantastic starter because it can send anything from our deck, it can banish itself to bring back that Chimera, so you can always reuse Chimera multiple times. The worst part is that both Chimera and Baphomet can only be activated during the opponent's turn, so that's a bummer, but it's absolutely okay. That means that you have a grind game during opponent's turn, so you can always actually revive some fiend monsters from the graveyard. And also here we are starting the combo, of course, Necromancer revive Archfiend, Archfiend to grab Necromancer, then we'll go for proxy, I think, no, for sequence this time. And sequence can make the Duke of Demise, so we either use Proxy of Magician or sequence, and that's really fantastic because we have sequence that can shuffle back fusions that can shuffle back materials from the graveyard, while Proactive Magician actually uses monsters from the field, so they really work hand in hand, which is fantastic. Appaloosa is, of course, broken. 4 materials, 3200. And then, as you can see, we have a lot of materials. We have double launcher. We haven't even used, I think, we have not used any launcher, by the way, except now, okay, we are using the first launcher now. And we already have Phoenix plus Appaloosa. We have double Necromancer, we have Impermanence, so we will build a insane board that our opponent cannot even try to destroy. Of course, we are adding another Archfiend, so double Necromancers can revive 2 Archfiends and get 2 searches. Just fantastic. We have now the third launcher, just to clear up some space to make Celantis. And yeah, you can see that this deck really can pop off really hard. You could try to run a double Engraver plus 2 or 3 tracked with Flurry, because Engraver is also a fantastic starter, especially now that Lacrima will be in the game soon. So so Engraver is a 1-card Aerial Eater, so Aerial Eater is basically getting you to the Infernity part of the deck, so you can actually put that engine as well. You can also put the Void Apocalypse, because it can discard a card to send any fiend from your deck to graveyard, but it's not that great going second, because you're basically going -2 for nothing. I mean, if it gets negated, it's -2, but if it resolves, it's a -1, so I actually started cutting that card. You don't really need it, as this Chimera engine actually gets you to the Infernity part of the deck, and you're not even going minus. You're just plussing and plussing and having a fantastic grind game. As you can see, we have Duke of Demise in the graveyard that can banish itself to bring back the Aerial Eater, and yeah, the opponent surrendered. Then you have Chimera and Baphomet that can revive each other, so that's fantastic. This last and final duel is actually during the newest event. I think the name is the Dice Rally, and a lot of cards are actually hit and banned, and in this case I think that the Moon of the Closed Heaven is forbidden, but I was still running Fiendsmith, so as you'll see that I was struggling to get to the Fiendsmith part of the deck, and that's the main difference, because Chimera, I mean the Baphomet, will send you either Ares or Archfiend, and the Fiendsmith part will get you to Aerial Eater, which Aerial Eater will send the second part of the Infernity engine, so that's the Stygian Sweep Patrol. But in this case, you'll see that we cannot really get to Archfiend and Stygian, so we're just going through Chimera and Baphomet, of course using the Chimera fusion. The Baphomet, I think, will send Archfiend here. Yeah, of course we are using the Bing Winged Baphomet to special summon the Kotal and sending Archfiend, and we could have continued on, but I think that we don't really have any other play that would have continued the combo, so it's just fine to keep this on the field. Okay, so this was against Generator. This was a new card, I think, the Enigon, QQ Enigon, so it's basically another level 9 extender. Okay, they're summoning the Mardel. Mardel is adding another Generator card. Okay, Lopter to tribute summon itself to summon the Davala. Yep, and we are definitely gonna imperm that, because she would have summoned the Har from the hand, which we don't want to do. And yeah, they're going into the Leviathan. Leviathan is broken, by the way, because it doesn't target, it attaches. It's insane. It attached both of my fusions. Okay, using Vala to discard Har to special summon herself. And they're making enter Blattner, so one thing here, if they actually use the effect to banish a random card from my hand, I would have probably lost the duel, because Necromancer is basically waiting to be normal summoned to revive Archfiend to continue the combo, but in this case I think that he banished the Kotal from the field. I really don't know why he done that, but sure, I guess. Okay, using the Jormungandr effect to attach, and then pause state triggers to summon the Har. Okay, leaving the Jormungandr to attack, and then using the Chimera to banish itself to special summon the Bingwin Baphomet. Okay, they're using Har to tribute summon 2 generators, and we are gonna chain the Baphomet to revive that same Chimera that we just banished. And it can also be used as a jump block here. Okay. And we still have the Chimera in the graveyard, so that's great. Okay, for the draw we actually drew Mirror Sword Knight, so I think we actually started with Sword Knight. But I think that our opponent actually messed up with the chain links, because he should have gone chain link 1 boss stage, chain link 2 Vala, so that actually they could have summoned the Har, but in this case they messed up, using Mirror Sword Knight, of course, to itself to summon the Gazelle. Gazelle will be adding the Chimera Fusion, but Imperm. But we have the Chimera Fusion, so this is a fantastic part of the Chimera Fusion. We just managed to get around the Impermanence, which is very big, and we have actually got to the Baphomet as well. Baphomet and Gazelle will trigger. Baphomet I think will send Stygian, yep, Stygian, and Gazelle will add the Kotal. Discard Kotal to add another Gazelle. But since we actually discarded the Necromancer, we don't really have another play here, so we're just gonna set Chimera Fusion, use the Chimera immediately to special summon any fiend to the field. Yep. They're using the Anagon, this, okay, revealing, then we're gonna change Chimera Fusion. The reason being because I wanted to summon the Duke of Demise, because Duke of Demise, besides another normal summon, it has the effect to actually cannot be destroyed by battle, so I wanted to survive a turn, because if I do, I'm probably gonna win the duel, but they're using the Enter Blatnir to banish my Duke of Demise, going into battle phase, using the Baphomet again to bring back that Chimera from the banish pile, using Leviathan. But since we have Sword Knight, we are just gonna negate it, Leviathan, so they cannot go into Jormungandr here, which is very big. And okay, main phase, let's see, okay, so we have Gazelle, and we draw another Necromancer, which is insane. So now we can start comboing off. We just normal summon the Gazelle, then we have, I think we have Stygian and Archfiend in our graveyard, so we are fully set to make a comeback. Gazelle with no effect because we added all 3 Chimera Fusions and Baphomet using Stygian. I don't know why they didn't actually wait for me to special summon a monster, but since they actually made a misplay over here, we're just gonna start doing the Infernity part. So Archfiend, we grab Reaper, going to Proxy of Magician, of course, then Reaper will revive Necromancer, and Necromancer will revive Archfiend, and as you can see we can now actually combo off and win the duel. But do we have a fusion? Yeah, we do. We have Aerial Eater left in our extra deck, so we can use Proxy of Magician to summon Aerial Eater, trigger Proxy of Magician and Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater will just send a random Egypt chain, then Proxy of Magician will summon Necromancer, Necromancer to summon Archfiend, and then Archfiend I think we'll add the first launcher, and then we're gonna use the Underworld Goddess, just getting this Neglifar of the field because it can actually protect itself from destruction, so we wanted to avoid that, using now launcher, revive both Necromancers. Necromancer number 1, revive Archfiend. Archfiend will add the second launcher, I think, yep, or the first one, no, that was the second launcher. Now we go from Underworld Goddess into Requiem. It is a big minus from going from a Link 5 to a Link 1, but we need a Requiem to actually go into sequence and to actually clear up some space. Then we link off for Phoenix because we want to actually get rid of the boss stage and get a free draw, I think. Super Poly is not bad. And then we are going into sequence. Now sequence will be vital here, I think, no? Yeah, and Engraver, as you can see, can just shuffle back the Underworld Goddess, so we can actually use her once again. But before that we are gonna equip Requiem so that Engraver can send the Enter Blatnir, then use the Underworld Goddess once again to get into her, and then use Launcher to revive both Necromancers, right? Yep, Necromancer once again, we have Archfiend. Archfiend adding the third launcher, and as you can see, during this combo we will probably need the third launcher, because we want monsters to actually OTK, and then using another Necromancer, Archfiend. We still haven't searched our counter trap, the barrier, and break, sorry. Then using the third launcher to revive Archfiend and Necromancer. Using Archfiend, we'll be adding another barrier. Then we'll go into battle phase, because at this time, as you can see, we were at 1 second, so we were attacking super fast, and I was just running, just hurrying to get to the 8k mark, and we actually successfully did it. We won the duel, and this will probably be the end of the video. There will be more Infernity content soon, so thank you so much for watching, see you soon, and goodbye.